janvier 2010.
The quake left tens of thousands of people homeless, injured, and scared. With nowhere to go and no time to rebuild, thousands of tent cities quickly popped up around Haiti.
There's a great need with 1.5 million, 2 million people, still living out of doors.
Without running water and without electricity. And many of those who do have homes are afraid to return to them after the trauma of the earthquake.
Instead of going to live under the concrete, so I would rather spend the rest of my life living in the tents, even if they are really hot,
And they are hot, and there are no bathrooms and very little, if any, privacy. Food is also scarce. The largest tent city houses 50,000 people. It's run by the Jenkins Pen Haitian Relief Organization, one of dozens of relief agencies on the ground in Haiti.
We talked our way out and we went down and we found an IDP camp of around 50,000 people. So that's how it all started.
Actor Sean Penn and philanthropist Diana Jenkins founded the organization right after the disaster to help meet the basic needs of the Haitian people. The most urgent need? Shelter.
Tents are more important in this country than anything else. We've been begging for tents day after day, week after week.
But the camps are crowded. There is a constant threat of disease, which could spread quickly among so many people living so close together. Most of the tent cities have makeshift clinics and even dental offices to treat the ill. They're all run by relief agencies and volunteers.
I landed in Haiti on January 25th. I came down with a team of 16 from Colorado Springs.
Justine Crowley, an orthopedic surgeon from Colorado Springs, went to Haiti thinking she would stay for a week.
And about a week to 10 days later, I was running the hospital.
She is now the medical director at the Jenkins Pen camp. And 4 months in, there is still plenty of work to do.
We're still in crisis mode, but we're not in disaster mode. There is time to think, there's time to do things and to set up protocols and set up emergency things and working to start rebuilding the healthcare system in Haiti.
And now we're led into a second phase, which is, a rainy season and hurricane season, and this could last 6 months.
All of the displaced residents across Haiti are still in danger.
The storm really started coming.
They're racing against time and Mother Nature.
The drainage canal was running 2 meters deep and flash flooding in the chokes.
Thousands of them are living in a designated flood zone, and heavy rains or a hurricane could spell disaster.
We realized that we had a lot of people in a life and death situation.
Bruce French, a volunteer from Telluride, is working at the JP camp. The group spearheaded the movement to relocate tens of thousands of people to a safer place. They got help from the military and dozens of other aid agencies, but it wasn't easy. It took time to get the government on board to allocate land for the project.
We spent days sitting around a table trying to figure out how we were going to move these people.
At first, they planned to move 7,500 people, but they had to scale back.
How are we going to move people, to a whole other section of the city, and how are we going to put this together and all? And
for 2 weeks, they planned the relocation. The most vulnerable people were registered first.
The people that were moved first in our village were the absolute ones in danger of flooding and landslides.
On moving day, they checked in with all of their belongings.
And here we are now, moving entire families with all their belongings, literally all their belongings they have, carrying them up.
Using tape and markers, they labeled their possessions and loaded them into trucks. Then it was time for them to go.
It was really overwhelming to see families, children, elders, handicapped people moving with what few possessions they had. With the hope of a new beginning.
The new camp is in an area called Karai. It's a 9-mile drive from Port-au-Prince, but it seems like a different world.
Oh, mes amis!
To leave an urban environment to go to a place they'd only heard about, they up and moved with faith that we were guiding them to a safer place.
It has a lot more space and much sturdier tents, but it's not perfect. It's far from the city and markets where people work, and transportation to those places is limited. Relief groups have also set up water stations, latrines, even showers.
People are getting back into normal routines of life. Kids are playing, the kites are flying, people are starting their commerce out there, and this is brand new. It's going to start to flourish.
Dozens of organizations are in Haiti, but individuals are also making a big impact. What one Colorado musician is doing to help the children of Haiti.